When we hear the word fearless, we picture someone who never gets scared, someone who's conquered every fear, someone with zero fear left in their body. That's how I used to think whenever I used to picture the word fearless. But that's not what the word actually means. And once you understand that, becoming fearless stops feeling impossible and starts feeling like something you can actually build one small step at a time. So let's break it down. I want you to look at the word itself. Fear less. Fear less. It's not fear none. It's not fear zero. It's fear less. That less is doing all the work here. It's telling you that the fear doesn't have to disappear completely. It just has to get smaller, lesser, quieter. And it gets smaller through one thing, that is exposure. The more you face the thing you are avoiding, the less power it has over you. So, fearless isn't a destination where fear stops existing completely. It's a direction. It's what happens when you keep walking toward the thing that scares you instead of walking away from it. And I want to prove this to you with a story that's a little embarrassing or maybe funny, but I promise you that you will relate to it or at least get a good laugh out of it. So, growing up as a young girl, I would say when I was a child, I had this, I don't even know if I would call it a fear. Well, it was more like an ick, or as we call them back home, ick towards chipkili or house geckos, lizards. And if you have grown up in India, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I want to be clear, I wasn't terrified of them, I wasn't screaming and running for my life. It was more of an avoidance thing. If there was a lizard in the room, I would not sleep in that room. Period. Simple. I wouldn't. I would rather find another spot on the floor somewhere else in another room than share a room with a house gecko. Nah, never with a chipkili. And here's the funny part. I was completely fine with everything else. Like a cockroach, no problem. I could pick up a cockroach with my bare hands if I had to. Other insects, no issues. Rats, mouse, no issues at all. Didn't bother me one bit. But something about lizards specifically just made my skin crawl, and I'm sure so many of you can relate to it. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. Hold on, listen to it. When I turned 17, I left home to study law and I moved into a hostel. I lived in that hostel for 5 years. Right after that, I got selected into the Indian Army. And if you know anything about army postings, you know they send you to field areas, semi field areas. And even in the peace postings, usually the areas are very green, very close to nature, which means, you guessed it, lots and lots of insects and lizards. Then I got married to my husband, who's also a government officer, which means more government accommodations. And if you have ever lived in a government accommodation, you know the gaps in the windows and everything. You know, they come with their own permanent residence, and I'm not talking about humans, permanent residence of insects, snakes, and again, lizards, the house geckos. So if I add it all up, 5 years in a hostel, my years in the army, and then years of government housing with my husband. That's roughly the last 23 years of my life spent living in spaces that were, without exaggeration, full of lizards. You could shoo them away 100 times, and somehow they would always find their way back in through some gap, some crack, some corner you didn't even know that existed in your windows and in your doors. And somewhere along the way, I couldn't even tell you exactly when, something shifted inside me. It happened. I just realized one day. I stopped caring. I literally stopped caring if a lizard was in the room. I didn't care anymore. If it needed shooing away, I would pick up a broom or anything and I would shoo it away without a second thought. Honestly, at this point, it almost feels like having a pet in the room. And whenever somebody comes at my house, I always tell them, this lizard, that's our pet. That's Rinky, that's Chinky. That's how normal it has become now. So one day I sat with this thought and realized something important. We humans are incredibly adaptable creatures. The more we are exposed to the thing we want to avoid, the more we get used to it. And the more we get used to it, the less we fear it. Notice, I didn't say the fear disappeared completely. Even today, if I see a lizard suddenly jump out on me, there's still that tiny ick reflex. That little flicker is still there, but it is a fraction of what it used to be. It has now got smaller, it got less. That's called fearlessness. Not zero fear, less fear. Build one repeated exposure at a time. So now comes the question, how do you actually use this in your own life? Whatever your version of lizard is, whatever your version of fear is, public speaking, starting a business, confrontation, rejection, fear of heights, whatever it might be, here's a simple framework you can apply. Number one, start with naming the fear specifically. Not I'm scared of failure. In a vague sense, get specific. Are you scared of judgments, of financial loss, of looking foolish in front of people? The clearer the target, the easier it is to approach it. Number two, understand you can't skip exposure. Not at all. There is no magic which is going to happen. There is no shortcut, no motivational quote. No amount of reading about courage replaces actually doing the scary thing. I didn't stop fearing lizards by reading an article about lizards. I stopped fearing them by living around them again and again for years. Number three, start with small repeated doses. You don't need to throw yourself into a deep end on day one. Small, consistent exposure works better than one dramatic leap. If it's in public speaking, start by speaking up in a small meeting before you actually take on a big stage. That's how exposure is done. Number four, expect the fear to visit and let it. Please, let the fear visit and let it be there. Don't wait for the day you feel zero fear before you act. That day may never come. And if you wait for it, you'll wait forever. Act with the fear still sitting in the room with you. Over time, trust me, it gets smaller. But it starts by acting while it is still large. Number five, track how the fear shrinks, not whether it's completely gone. This is the mindset shift. Stop measuring, did the fear disappear? Start measuring, is it smaller than what it was 6 months ago? That's genuine progress, even if it doesn't feel like a finish line. Number six, let repetition become your new normal. Somewhere in the process, and you often won't notice exactly when, the thing that used to make you freeze becomes just background noise. Like my lizard, like my first presence on the stage, I was literally scared when I first started doing public speaking or when I recorded my first video. So the next time you hear the word fearless and think it means someone who feels nothing, remember, that's not it at all. Fearless simply means fear less than yesterday, less than last month, less than last year. You don't need to wait to feel brave to start. You just need to keep showing up in front of the thing that scares you again and again. Until one day you look back and you realize the fear is still there, but it's just a fraction of what it used to be. And who knows, one day your lizard might just become your pet too, like it became mine. Now, if this resonated with you, let me know in the comments what your lizard is. What your fear is. The thing you are slowly becoming fearless around. And if you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button and follow Speak with Power, because we are going to keep unpacking mindset shifts like this one together. I am Captain Ritu Kumar Singh signing off. I'll see you in the next video. Jai Hind everyone. Namaste.